Hey, you're here with Chris at Car Cave. We got a special Defender here. Really cool North American spec that has been well loved. So our website's carcaveusa.com. The phone number is 803-262-4742. You need financing, we can help you with that. We don't do it in-house, but we work with a bunch of different lenders. But yeah, like I said, my name is Chris. We got a 95 Defender 90 NAS, so it's the V8. North American spec, if you're not familiar with the acronym. And previous owner had it 21 years. There's, if you see on the front of the white Tahoe, a 3-inch receipt stack. And I had to make notes for this one. Usually, man, I can do these Defenders shooting from the hip, look at parts. But some of these parts are so like high-end and the old school ones that have been on this car that you can't buy anymore. Like the front bumper, I had to make a note on this one. The front bumper was a Rock Ware. I don't think that company's around anymore building them, but they built a proper bumper. The suspension came from Simon over Overtime, so it's remote reservoir Fox shocks, a 5-inch lift, new Dick C-Pick, which I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but it's okay. Tires, they're 35, 1250s, rear tire carrier. Great car. The odometer, speedometer cluster has been replaced. It's a major defect on these. A lot of them get replaced from gears, and you have an electric sender and a few different options on them. So this one has a little over 100,000 miles, but it is extremely sound. The V8 runs strong. It is a well-balanced, good driving vehicle. We spent about 20K reconditioning the whole thing, but the owner before us, he kept it in great shape. You can hear it has a Borla exhaust, and you can see my cheat sheet there. You actually hear the exhaust. It sounds good, it runs good, it's smooth. The main reason I bought this when we reconditioned it is there was no, I'm gonna turn it off because we're in a closed building. No expense was spared. The previous owner, put the keys up here, there was no expense spared. So the previous owner, there's never a cheap part put on this thing throughout its life. I mean, you have upgrade axles, you have an air compressor, one run an air locker, one's a mechanical locker. It's been re-geared. Most of these you see, no one bothers to actually set the thing up properly and put the money into it. They want curb appeal. This one, it went the distance that, you know, how often do you see one that's actually re-geared to match the tires? We rarely do. People are looking at curb appeal. Everything on here was well thought out, calculated. You know, was the highest end at the time. Has a bikini top, a Surrey top, a Badger Coachworks coach top. It came with a ton of parts, so we've been utilizing it on different cars too. The Borla exhaust is high end. The suspension was over $10,000. It's new. Like I said, you can see the jointed arms here, so the front and the back. We rebuilt the front axle. We did a filter and fluid change, the A-frame. We did a steering stabilizer, the old man Emu one. You have HD steering rods. We also did, let's see, fluids, filters, U-joints. But going through it, your whole thing here, you have the Safari Gard rock sliders. You have a 15-ton pintle on the back, 5-inch total lift. You have the Tuffy center console, the forward-facing rear seat, which is not, you don't see a lot. And I don't know why somebody has some foam back here. We'll have to ask. The rubber mat here in the rear, you know, like the North American spec, you actually have the bulkhead remove bar that, you know, was standard on these. So we put new doors on it, new hinges. They were just getting older, so just some were metals over age. There's nothing wrong with it. We did clean up the rear cross member, but it's, you get under one of these, and we want to make sure to coat it so you don't have it rust. And that's a good thing to do with these, that you keep them well serviced and clean. So it's something you want to make sure over time you keep coated, because those rear cross members will go. So all the outriggers are clean, the spot welds are in place. Besides the 3 doors, it's original paint. So you look down the side, you want to see the spot welds here. We did the doors just because they're aging. You do have window tops, you have a full top. You can see like the header plastic piece is all intact. The door cards, those aren't, from my knowledge, and we do a lot of Land Rover parts, they're not around anymore. So those plastic door cards with the speaker insert. You have the Tuffy console here. We went with the alloy shift knobs. The seating's all original. when you look at it, it's clean. And you know, you do have, since it's NAS, the whole roll bar here. We took off the whole cage structure just because of age. It's been out in the weather. We powder coated it. Same with the rear tire carrier, same with the front bumper. So we left the original front bumper that came with it. So not original was built, original when we got it. Tore it apart and powder coated it because just from age the metals go. So we freshened all that up. Like I said, the hinges, those are known problem areas, and we corrected. But when you go into things like the outrigger, you know, it is clean in the bottom of the floor pans. So what you want to see on one of these, like you have a solid bulkhead, you have all of these solid areas of a car that you don't have rust where they normally would. It's sound, it's runs good, the suspension's set up right, you know, all around highly, it's great. You have the extended fender flares, you have Tomlin's drive shafts, you have, like I said, the re-gearing, the upgraded Great Basin Rovers axles, new steel wheels, and I heard some of the documents falling over there. You have air conditioning, you have V8, you can see your, there we are, your air locker switches. We did have, there's an LED light bar on it. I'm not a fan of those things, so we took it off. They whistle, but when you get into things like the floor pans here, you can see they're all clean. Underneath, same thing. You have front skid plate, HD track rods, and the high jointed ones. You also have a high jointed A-frame too, which is important for maximum articulation. And spot welds, which are show that you haven't had any rust or body damage here. Well, rust, it's aluminum, but you haven't had any body damage in a repaint. So all good condition down here. Let's see, the Safari Gard rock sliders we didn't take off to repowder coat. I wanted to leave, if you're into Land Rovers, the whole Safari Gard story, it's a unique one, so look it up. You have polyurethane bushings I can see peeking out at me. So we want to leave those intact, cleaned up the rear cross member, and like I said, rebuilt the front axle. Has the toolkit back here. These seat belts were getting worn, so we put in newer seat belts. We painted the rear door, so you see how clean it is. And it was just, took apart all these little components, powder coated them, put it all back together, put in new hardware. The rubber mat is aftermarket. I believe that was a Rover's North thing. Looks like somebody needs to detail just a little bit better over here. Clean that mat. Like I said, bikini top, Surrey top. You have the window tops for the doors here, but we did put on new doors. You have the extended fender flares. You can see the limiting straps here. There was no stone unturned when it went through here. You do have Bluetooth radio, air conditioning. And let's see, floor pans here. Let's pop the hood, go underneath the hood. It drives better than you would imagine. You have high lift jack, you have a Superwinch, you have, which are proper, so you can pull a rope through it, you can hook to it. Let's see if we can go up and under. Recent tune-up. Clean underneath here, all the vents are matching. The 3.9 runs strong, it has good compression, it feels good. Electric cooling fans, that's a good upgrade, so you get a little bit more power out of it. Excellent service record, so we'll go look at those. We'll do a quick peek. And it is a stack. Some of them are slipping on me for Atlantic British. Back in the day, before these were so popular, you had a few choices. You can see the Badger Coachworks. This is cool from when they originally bought it. So same owner for 21 years. And the grandfather bought it, left it to a 1-year-old when he passed. And the dad, the kid just turned 21. And we bought it because he said he needed something probably that's not as loud and proud as this awesome Defender. You have the full manuals, all the original paperwork, random pictures, trips. It's documented. This is a whole stack of records. Original note from the car, remote. These were the vehicle warranty service records. So it's highly documented. I mean, you have records going back, and it's a huge stack. I can't remember everything that is on the car. There's so much stuff here. But like I said, we went through and reconditioned it. That we didn't want to give her full repaint because it's mainly original paint, and that's hard to find. But we did a solid, complete, and thorough job of getting everything in place. And it was mainly, cleaning up the metal finishes and the different bright work. The axle, it didn't need much service. There's so many records over there. It's been taken care of. I did lose my notes here. I don't know where I set it down at for all the build. I said I'm usually pretty good about looking at one of these, but there's so many parts here. The rear light guards, you start adding up small things, like the Tuffy console, the Bluetooth radio. Oh, there's my notes. Let's see if I missed anything. Superwinch X9, Safari Gard. Oh, LED auxiliary lighting up front. They converted to Hella Euro style H4 headlamps. So those are good upgrades. You're not overrunning your lights. I said the rear door is original. We repainted it. We left all the original handles and latches. They're really functional and correct. You got Fox shocks, the spare tire carrier. You have the RT welding and fabrication coil springs, 12-inch front remote reservoir shocks, 14-inch rear. RT articulation cones, check straps, adjusted radius arms, control arms, adjustable panhard rod, I forgot that one, polyurethane bushings, extended rear shock mounts, and steering linkage. It's a Sony deck. It is the aftermarket rockers and switches, and let's see. Oh, K&N air filter. We went over the Boral exhaust, the stainless steel fuel lines, braided oil cooler lines, Optima yellow top battery. It's so lengthy. Front AirB air locker, rear Detroit, 411 gears, aftermarket front rear axles, axle flanges, front CV cages, Tom with the drive shafts, skid plates for the differentials. I forgot those. And the one for the steering up front and for the fuel tank. So that's not even everything. I could go on for a while. If you're looking for a cool lifted yellow NAS, good driving, excellent history Defender, you found it. I've not come across one that's this documented. This is kind of an anomaly, and someone that owned it for 21 years, and it was well loved. So you have questions, let us know. It's a good truck. It's solid. I'm going to drive it to Lake tomorrow. Not gonna lie, it's going out. It's gonna get some miles. Gonna put the kids in it. Gonna get it on the road. But we do that with all of our cars. So the whole collection, everything you see in here, we drive and put miles on it. So we get to learn and know the cars. We do a lot of Defenders, Jollies, 3000 GT, Fiats, Renaults, Jaguars. Got the Impala earlier. Cool Woody wagon, some 7.3 diesels. We have a HJ61. This one's FJ62. You can see all the Defenders floating around. We know them, we do them. They are, I think we have 30 right now, so there's quite a bit here. Put a new motor in the Disco, might be running some extra juice. Got a V12 Benz, gonna go into detail. Old Ranchero, the Hilux. We got our tuned up Defender in the Weldon Bay. Some TD5s, a Bronco 442, an RS 2000, a Supra, and something kind of cool over there in the detail bay. So we keep a variety of stuff. We have a full shop here. So need anything, it's 803-262-4742. My name is Chris at Car Cave USA. There you go. She's pretty. We're just finishing this up. Put roll cage in it, some AC, a touch screen, some updated seats. You got YJ over here. We got Duke running away in the corner. But yeah, you saw walk through the shop. We didn't even get to see what was outside. So if you have questions, let us know.